Hello, welcome to the Grand Prix podcast! And welcome to the deep dive. Heroes versus villains in F1. What does it all mean? You can't do it with one person, because what does it take, Nav?
A village.
It takes a village. So I decided to create a script, a Hollywood blockbuster superhero, supervillain intro. And I've got a script for all three of us. I'll play the role of Izzy. Reem, you're going to play the role of Reem, which is also the sound effects. If you feel you can't do some of the sound effects written, you can just read them dramatically.
But do try.
Yeah, try.
Don't be a fun sponge.
Yeah. And Nav, you will be the co-host, also known as Nav.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Reem, it's starting off with your first sound effect to get this exciting and epic intro started. Go for it.
This.
What?
I hate this.
That isn't your first sound effect.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so we're clear, that was meant to be thunder crack, massive orchestral
No,
hit.
I haven't started the orchestral bit.
That was just the thunder. Do you know what thunder sounds like?
Have you never heard thunder?
No,
Ha!
We had thunder like last month.
I don't remember.
It's like a...
Before Red Bull... Yeah, carry on. Before... No, I said carry on.
But maybe go down.
Yeah, sort of face yourself out, will you?
There's something from the beginning.
Yeah, go for it. Before Red Bull gave anyone wings, before physics became optional, there was only speed.
And poor decisions.
And from that speed came chaos. They said humans weren't meant to go that fast. They said, please, sir, this is just a Wendy's. But they were wrong.
No.
That's meant to be explosions. You could just say bang, you know. You could just say bang.
Bang, bang.
So very, very wrong.
Welcome to the heroes and villains of Formula One, where egos are measured in G-forces and the drama is so thick you could use it as racing fuel.
What the fuck am I supposed to do this one? Hallelujah.
You have to do the angel note.
Yeah,
How the fuck
The
am I-
angel note is like really high. Higher.
This is the saga of Titans who looked at the physics and said, nah.
She's paraphrasing, I reckon.
This is the chronicle of absolute mad lads who turned left and right at speeds that would make fighter jets file restraining orders. You think the Avengers assembled? The 2021 Abu Dhabi grid assembled, and someone forgot to read the rule book.
Too soon, Queen.
Bam, bam, bam. We're talking about 5 individuals so powerful, so controversial, so absolutely mental that the sport will never be the same.
5 is a very powerful and ominous number of individuals.
Is that when you have water balloon?
No, it's a
Remember,
thunder crash.
thunder is like...
Enzo Ferrari. The Godfather built a religion, you can fade out now, where drivers were disposable, but the prancing horse was eternal, called his drivers slow to newspapers, refused to go to races because he was too powerful.
Am I meant to do this in an Italian accent?
Yes.
Okay. Mamma mia, order me a pizza pie whilst you tell me what a villain he is.
Patient zero of paddock drama. Flavio Briatore. Just for everyone listening, that was meant to be air horns, yacht sounds, and champagne popping.
Would you like some Teflon with that F1, Don?
The ringmaster who orchestrated Crashgate, a deliberate crash to win a race and almost got away with it.
Keyword, almost.
Got banned from motorsport forever while looking like he just came from a yacht party in Sardinia. He looked at the rulebook and said, this is more of a pamphlet, really.
He owns every inch of this narrative.
Gavel slams. Order! Order the court! I don't know how to do the sound.
Jean-Marie Balestri.
J'adore français, even if it's biased.
FIA president, French, biased, never, unless you're not French.
Definitely biases.
Changed rules mid-season, disqualified champions, Senna versus Prost, Balestri was in the middle of a drama-hungry chaos gremlin.
Bro cooked on gas and fed on pure chaos.
He didn't just move goalposts, he set them on fire.
Oh, oui, putain. Oh, no. That was
What did you say?
Putain.
What's putain?
Fuck.
Oh.
That was that was meant just to let people know, French muttering in Scandal. Michael Schumacher.
Da-da. Thank you for completing it. Pop off on pod, girly pop.
7-time world champion. The greatest, undoubtedly. The cleanest,
Are you calling him dirty?
No, as in like he's not, he was like a dirty racer.
Oh, okay.
Monaco 06, parked during qualifying. Adelaide 94, hit a rival, won the championship. Jerez 97, tried it again, got disqualified from the entire season.
The shade of it all.
Amazing.
Thank you.
But also revolutionised Ferrari, drove in the rain like he had Google Maps and everyone else had a paper map from 1987. Hero, villain, Quantum Schumacher.
That's meant to be mischievous. Okay.
Helmut Marko. Keep it going. The Executioner, lost in eye racing, gained the ability to see through souls.
That's actually terrifying.
Promotes drivers, demotes drivers, destroys drivers, all before breakfast.
I give 0 fucks and I got 0 chill in me.
Yes, Nav! Made Red Bull a dynasty, made Pierre Gasly cry. He believes in results and Austria.
Austrian mountains echo.
Why is it always Phantom of the Opera?
Da-da.
These are your villains.
These are problems.
The men who made Formula One a beautiful disaster, a glorious mess where the drama is faster than the cars.
Box this intro.
They've crashed, they've schemed, they've been banned.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Thank you.
They said motorsport was about the cars. They were wrong.
So wrong.
It's all about the chaos, the audacity, the unhinged brilliance of people who said, yeah, but what if we made it spicier? It's not meant to be an air hot balloon.
Hey, but what does that mean?
What?
Final explosion with weather system.
As in a big explosion, and what I was interpreting at was like water and rain and wind.
Oh, okay.
If you think I'm a celebrity, the final thing,
Right.
the final challenge they have.
Okay, go on, Reem.
How am I supposed to do that?
So I'm thinking like a fan, fake rain, wind, and also an explosion. All of the elements, basically. I didn't say a fart and a dripping tap. I said all of the elements in one.
I don't know how to do that.
Bang, bang, ding, 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 bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? Drama.
Bang, bang, ding, 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 bang, bang.
This is the heroes and villains of F1. Boom. Buckle up. It's going to be proper mental.
Bono, our sanity is gone.
Amazing pig noise.
Context, it was meant to be a tyre screech.
It was. What did you think, girlies?
Good luck to the audience following that storyline. That was
I
a bit
didn't follow
chaotic.
it.
Good luck to me editing that.
Yeah, actually, yes.
I can honestly say that I listened to nothing that you both said.
Oh.
Well, good, because you're going to learn it all in the next part.
That's true. Also, whilst we don't have much of a budget for the podcast, we can maybe recreate this in a year's time when we've got more budget and we can do all of those elements for real.
Oh.
Well, Nav could probably do that right now with
I
free
could,
sound
yeah.
effects, but you know what I mean.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Why do we need to download sound effects when we've got a whole human here?
Exactly.
Yeah, of course,
Hey,
it's
Reem.
some talent. Yeah.
Reem, make the noise of a pit stop. Thank you. You know, it's just... That was Little Sister Syndrome. You can't just copy now. In every superhero universe, there's that one character who just won't fucking die. You throw them off a building, they land on their feet. You send them to prison, they're sipping cocktails in the Caribbean by Tuesday. You ban them for life from the sport, they're back running a team 15 years later like nothing fucking happened. Ladies and gentlemen, say it with me, ladies.
Flavio Briatore.
The Teflon Don. The man who looked at consequences and said, those are for mere mortals. Before we get into the championships, the scandals, the crashes and the comeback that should be physically impossible, let's establish the ground rules of the Flavio Briatore cinematic universe. Rule number 1, he cannot be stopped. Rule number 2, he cannot be controlled. Number 3, the moment you think he's gone, that's when he's most dangerous. Dun, dun, dun. Flavio Briatore's path to Formula 1 reads like a thriller novel. After working as a ski instructor, he opened a restaurant called Tribula, which closed due to excessive debt. He then worked as a door-to-door insurance salesman before becoming assistant to Attilio Dutto, owner of a paint company. When Dutto was killed in a car bomb attack on the 21st of
my
March
God.
1979 by unknown perpetrators, it emerged that Dutto was bankrupt, and Briatore's involvement in the business affairs led to his arrest on several counts of fraud.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to throw accusations out there. was
so I won't. Why did you not finish the sentence?
was Briatore involved? Is that what you're going to tell us?
I keep saying it, mafia boss.
Oh.
Don't kill
Well. Flavio next moved to Milan to work in finance. I'm looking for a man in finance. Sorry.
What a red flag instantly.
Heading up Compagnia Generale Industriale, which went bankrupt.
Oh,
Flavio,
sounds like a theme.
Flavio was convicted for fraud in his role in the collapse.
Again, a theme.
Whilst moonlighting as an apparent record producer, Briatore became part of a group of confidence tricksters who rigged gambling games in order to win large sums of money from wealthy players they lured in. The courts eventually sentenced him to 4.5 years in prison, reduced to 14 months on appeal. Preferring the idea of an exotic paradise to the prospect of time behind bars, Flavio fled to the Virgin Islands and lived in exile as a fugitive.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh. Why is he in this for?
No, I'll tell you what you need to do. If you think of, like, the morals that you have, get rid of those. He sounds fun.
Yes,
Come on!
Where are the movie rights?
Yeah.
I would love to see a movie on his life, and you're not even halfway through.
Exactly. He hasn't even got to F1 yet.
Yeah.
Bernie, you know what to do.
Yeah.
The hero arc begins. Fashion mogul to F1 champion.
Hero arc?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, they always say, live long enough to be a hero and you'll become a villain you want to never...
Yes.
They always say, be a long enough a hero. What?
You either die
Hero.
a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to live the No.
You live
die...
long enough.
You either live long enough to be the
No.
hero... No.
You either
I'm saying
die
it actually completely wrong.
You either die a hero or
You
you
ei-
live long enough to become the villain.
You know what they always say? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see the villain.
To become the villain.
Fuck. You know what they say? You guys know what they say, all right?
What did they say?
Be the hero long enough. You'll live long enough to see the villain.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see become the villain.
You know what they say? You know what they say? You die the... You die the hero. You die the hero.
I think you could do this. Just take a deep breath.
You know what they say? No.
That was half a breath.
I know, I got excited. You know what they say? You can die the hero.
No.
You get-
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You know what they say? You are the hero. You said such a long sentence.
Do you want me to write it down?
No, it's fine.
You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Die a hero, live long enough to become a villain.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see the villain.
See yourself become
the villain. See
yourself become the villain.
You know what they say? You either die the hero or you live long enough. Why are you not talking the same speed as me? You know what they say?
You know what they say?
Wait, okay, I need to put the laptop down. I need to focus. You know what they say? Lol. Sorry. Do you know what they say?
What do they say?
You know what they say? You either live to be the hero.
No.
You you either die a hero or you live long enough to be the villain. To see the villain you were once.
No, you can have that. Be the villain. Makes sense.
You either die a hero.
You either die a hero
or you live
long enough
to
see yourself become the villain.
Yeah. Where is that a quote from?
Batman.
Well done.
Thank you.
At least you know the reference.
Thank you. It's from Arkansas. No, what?
Huh?
What's the place called?
Arkham Asylum?
Yeah,
That's not where it happened. It happened. He said it outside Jim Gordon's house.
after the parents die. Yeah, at the theatre.
No,
Arkansas?
not his parents. It's at the end. They say it at the end of The Dark Knight.
Spoiler.
Gordon's the one that says it. The film's been out for so long.
And I haven't seen it.
What?
I'm not a DC fan.
Right, find out who the heroes and villains are next time. We need to watch The Dark Knight.
Honestly, I'm tempted. Right, moving on from that mess. Pick it up.
What are we talking about?
Heroes
don't
and
know.
I
villains.
feel like I blacked out.
Oh yes, his hero arc.
While hiding from Italian justice, Flavio's fortunes dramatically reversed. He retained his contract with Luciano Benetton. Benetton?
Yeah, the store.
Yes.
Clothing store. Fashion store.
He retained his contact with Luciano Benetton, who placed him in charge of franchising the fashion brand throughout the United States. The chain expanded from initial 5 stores to over 800 by 1989, thanks to the duo's acumen, earning Briatore immense wealth in the process.
Let me guess. They went in debt.
The store was never to be seen again. Flavio would eventually return to the EU after squashing his convictions via amnesty, having never spent a day in prison.
That's crazy.
It is rather, isn't it?
And also, now knowing his history and his dirty ways, it low-key kind of feels like a money laundering store when you go into it. Because I've never met anyone who shops at Benetton.
You can't try and pin the Benetton store on Flavio Briatore's money laundering scheme. There's no way.
So you're saying he has a money laundering scheme?
Stupid logic. The Benetton team had only been around since 1985, when Luciano Benetton decided the best way to sell more of his colourful sweatshirts was to become a major player in F1.
Oh.
When Luciano Benetton took Flavio to the 1988 Australian Grand Prix, Flavio admitted it was really the first time I'd even seen an F1 car, yet within months he'll be running the entire Benetton F1 team.
That's crazy. Like, that is surely not a transferable skill.
Literally. He was a commercial director of a clothing shop.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that make you good at being an F1 team principal?
Yeah.
And the first time he saw it was in 1988. By 1992, the Italian team with baby blue cars was established enough to beat the Italian team with red cars. Who am I referring to?
Ferrari.
The first one?
Baby blue. Benetton.
Yes, well done. Flavio said, people maybe didn't take us seriously thinking we could only make shirts, but now they appreciate the reality of the situation.
They make cars.
No, they make F1 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're learning on this podcast. One of Flavio's best decisions was employing 2 of the most coldly rational people on the paddock to handle their cars, Michael Schumacher to drive them and Ross Brawn to build them. The gamble paid off spectacularly. Schumacher was a race winner in 92 and 93 before claiming back-to-back titles in 1994 and 1995, with Benetton also snatching the Constructors' crown in 1995. His fledgling Benetton team was the only one to break the Ferrari-Williams lockout on the championship during the 90s. The former fraudster had climbed to the summit of motorsport.
Ooh.
The villain emerges. The dark arts of competition. Oh, should I do it like Snape? The dark arts of competition. repetition.
I like
Nice.
it.
Thank you. Do you want me to read the rest of the whole of this episode?
Yes.
No? Okay. But success brought scrutiny. No, I've got so much to read. I can't.
It was also kind of given the cult guy from Wild Wild Country.
Sealer.
Yes.
But success brought scrutiny, and the hero's arc began to darken. The 1994 season, Schumacher's first championship year, may I add, was eventful to say the least. Even before the first race of the season, rumours that the Benetton's car was powered by something more ferocious than Michael Schumacher on a killer win streak. Those suspicions were confirmed midway through the season when an FIA investigation discovered that the B194 car was equipped with a secret, hidden and highly illegal control system.
Oh.
The investigation found that the system, which was designed to optimise a car's getaway from a standing start, could only be activated via a concealed menu on the pit lane computer, followed by an elaborate series of ups and downs gear shifts by the driver in the car. It was clear what was happening. Benetton's car came with its own cheat code. Ross Brawn and Benetton disputed all of this, naturally. Sure, the car had a secret launch control feature. So what? It was obviously only there for testing. God. No one on the team had the faintest clue that scrolling down past the final item on the screen to a hidden option 13 setting could activate the launch control right before a race. And as for that intricate sequence of up and down gear shifts in the car, that was clearly made so that no one would ever turn the feature on by accident, silly. Benetton actually managed to present this defence to the FIA with a straight face. God knows how. But Benetton actually got away with it because
How?
Ross brought... It's taken 10 minutes, but you're invested. Benetton got away with it because Ross Brawn had spotted a loophole in the regulations. The rules at the time only prevented the use of traction control, not the existence of software that could be used to enable traction control. Because the FIA couldn't definitively prove that Benetton hadn't just kitted itself out with a secret option 13, but actually deployed it in the race as well, there wasn't much they could do about it.
Damn, that should have been in the cheat code episode.
Yeah, alright, don't do that. Don't do that.
It wasn't because we were saving it for this.
Yeah.
We didn't want to double up on
You
information.
planned ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Okay.
It wasn't an oversight.
No, it wasn't. Definitely wasn't the inspiration for the artwork that Nav did as well. And then we ended up not using it. No. We're in control.
Yeah.
We're happy with our choices.
Yeah.
We're moving forward. We're going to win awards.
Next paragraph.
Yep. A feud broke out between FIA President Max Mosley and Flavio, who accused the FIA of incompetence. Neither man would back down, and the row continued throughout the season. The antagonistic relationship with the sport's governing body would define Briatore's career and ultimately contributed to his downfall. But, as Flavio himself said in 1994, we are in the entertainment business, aren't we? Nope.
Not the sports business.
Nope. Sure, you need technology, but a lot of people forget that we're supposed to be racing. We need to remember what all the customers want.
He's such a gaslighter.
Literally. The return. Renault and glory. After being ousted from Benetton in 1997, Briatore's second act began in 2000. When Renault purchased Benetton, with the rebadging happening from the start of the 2002 season, Flavio was brought back into the fold as team boss. He had discovered another generational talent, Fernando Alonso.
Oh, I was
You
gonna say
said,
Pierre
I can see
Gasly.
you said it with your eyes. What? Pierre Gasly?
What?
2002?
I don't know.
I think he was still in nappies.
Literally. He might have just been a thought. The fuck?
Fernando Alonso.
Well done.
Thank you.
Definitely not a beat too late. That's what I love about you there.
Yeah.
The Renault R25 was a highly competitive car, and though Kimi Raikkonen's McLaren MP420 may have had the edge in terms of pace, the Enstone car was more reliable. Flavio's Renault would secure both 2005 F1 crowns with Alonso leading the charge, then make it back-to-back doubles in 2006 with a title fight with Schumacher at Ferrari. The maestro had done it again. 7 world championships under his watch. The hero had returned triumphant.
Ooh.
The fall. Crashgate
Yes.
and banishment.
Yes. Should I say what Crashgate was since I've heard it?
Do you want to say Crashgate?
Yes.
Okay, go on then.
Okay. It was 2008.
Yeah.
Singapore Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso was at the back of the grid. And there was no opportunity for him to win the race. But Flavio Briatore had a backup plan. The backup plan was to get Kimi Raikkonen, right?
Literally no.
Oh no, who was it? Who was it?
Literally I can't tell you how much no there is in the world for you right now.
Nelson Piquet Jr.
Nelson Piquet Jr.
I'm so close. So similar. Kimi Räikkönen and Nelson Piquet Jr.
Because you just said Kimi Räikkönen, so it was in my head.
Just attach yourself to any name you heard.
Nelson Piquet Jr. He had a backup plan to have him crash at some point in the race.
It was a pretty specific point in the race, actually.
In the halfway point.
It was really specific.
It was later on.
It was after something happened.
After Alonso had already pitted early.
After Alonso had pitted early in the race. And he made him crash on purpose so that everyone would be pitting under safety car, but Fernando Alonso had an advantage, which made sure that he would go up the grid, and he ended up winning that race. And then people started to get suspicious. And they started being like, ooh, that crash seemed a bit too planned, seemed a bit too convenient for Fernando Alonso. And his demeanor when he was accepting the win and he was on the podium was very questionable because he looked a bit more tame than he usually would be for someone who's just won a race. It would look like something was on his mind.
Yeah, insightful.
Yes, and he was in his head. And then they ended up reporting it to the FIA and to the media.
What am I doing?
Someone whistle-blowed. Oh, Nelson Piquet Jr. He admitted.
Whistle-blowed. Not whistle-blew.
Whistle-blowed. Nelson Piquet Jr. ended up confessing.
Why?
Because he was kicked out of the team.
Mm-hmm. During the
2000.
I've said the wrong way of dates.
2000 and...
It's not 2008.
9.
Yeah.
In 2009, Nelson Piquet revealed the truth of what really happened in the Singapore Grand Prix. And that's why Flavio Briatore ended up being kicked out. And currently, Kimi Räikkönen was the one who was in the championship, right? That's why you said the name.
That was for the previous point.
Oh, who was in the running for the championship?
Felipe Massa.
Felipe Massa was in the running for the championship. And that race, the Singapore Grand Prix, is what cost him the championship for that year.
Oh, no,
the Brazilian Grand Prix was actually the one
it was one of the ones that cost him the win. And he's suing the FIA so that they are able
Just to be clear,
cancel.
Is he suing the Flav or the FIA?
The FIA.
Okay, cool.
So that he can get the title and they can cancel out that race, basically, remove it from history. I feel like I did most of that right.
You did.
I did like 80%.
Yeah,
with some prompts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Really good. Very
you.
impressed with your knowledge.
Thank you. See, I listen in episodes.
Oh,
That
hope
is
so.
bare minimum. Bare fucking
Literally
minimum.
all you
How
have
about
to
that?
do is listen.
At the hearing for Crashgate, the FIA banned Flavio for life from all sanctioned events, making an example of the Italian for refusing to admit guilt despite the overwhelming evidence against him. The governing body also refused to grant a super licence to any drivers managed by him, effectively ending any involvement in F1. The villain had finally been vanquished. Or so it seemed.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Again, where are the movie rights?
Imagine Flavio Briatore, the Teflon Don, played by Martin Kemp.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they both have white hair.
Oh, I don't know. He's too nice, though.
Sean Connery. The guy who plays Gandalf.
No.
Sir Ian McKellen.
No.
I'm thinking of people with white hair.
You need to think of like some...
Hugh
some
Grant!
Sort of like, no.
Hugh
No.
Grant!
Yes.
No, he's too British.
No, but Hugh Grant is in his villain era acting.
But he's too British.
Have you not seen him in The Gentleman?
got-
Oh, calm down, Raymond.
Yeah, I don't know about him playing Flavio Briatore. I think you need to think more like Italian mafia boss
Florence Pugh.
vibes. Yes, exactly.
What?
Just took it out of my head.
Cillian Murphy.
You only thought of Florence Pugh because her name starts with an F.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know that the way that your head works, and you thought, well, who else's name starts with a F? So you went
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, why are you doing a thunder noise again?
So you went Flavio Briatore, Florence Pugh. Those sound similar.
It would be the role of a lifetime for her. I think.
Not Oppenheimer.
No, not at all. That was a warm-up act.
She was barely in it.
Oh no. Never mind. I was going to say the guy from Oppenheimer.
I just said Cillian Murphy.
No, not him. Think about someone else. Doctor Strange.
He's the guy from Oppenheimer.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Was he in Oppenheimer? He was.
I don't know. I don't remember that film. Back on track.
True to his nickname, nothing stuck to Flavio Briatore for long. In 2010, Briatore challenged the FIA ban in the French justice system, arguing that his public feud with Max Mosley, the FIA president at the time, led to a kangaroo court.
Oh.
Ba-doing, ba-doing. Translation for Ream. An unofficial court held by a group of people in order to try someone regarded, especially without good evidence, as guilty of a crime.
So
why is it called
a term?
What? Yeah, why is it called a kangaroo court? What did kangaroos ever do to?
It was because the first time they had it, it was a welfare animal RSPCA thing, and it was kangaroos that were being accused of punching people that they hadn't done that to.
Someone tried to charge kangaroos.
And this is what I'm saying, is that if you bullshit with confidence, people just eat it up. Nav went into interview mode, and what did who did this to the kangaroos? Have we heard about what happened after? How are they doing?
Where are they now?
Yeah. An HBO special. Where are the kangaroos from the original Kangaroo Court?
I thought when he said a kangaroo court, as in like that was an exaggeration. Like he meant everyone was acting like they were in a zoo, like a bunch of animals.
Everyone was hopping mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He won the trial, overturning the ban, and was awarded €50,000 settlement.
Yeah. They gave him money.
Yeah.
How?
He's an upstanding member of society.
With his history.
Everyone's got to have hobbies.
He's a fraudster who literally lived as a fugitive so that he got out of a prison sentence.
He's Icarus. He just flew a little bit close to the sun, baby, in the pursuit of competitiveness.
He's such an icon.
I know!
Like, I know he's a bad person, but also...
But at least he doesn't give a fuck about being a baddie.
King is a stretch.
King is a stretch.
It's like...
Although
iconic.
I did accidentally just call him a baddie, but I meant a baddie as in like Darth Vader, not like, He wisely chose not to immediately return, instead building nightclub and restaurant empires, hosting the Italian version of The Apprentice, and continuing to manage Alonso from the shadows. His presence haunted the paddock like a ghost that refused to be exorcised. Then, in 2024, came the unthinkable. 15 years after his exit from F1, Flavio Briatore returned in early 2024 in order to help give the helpless Alpine squad some direction, and as executive advisor to the very same team he left in disgrace. You know, he walked in and was like, "Daddy's home!"
Yeah.
The prodigal son had returned home. Briatore immediately effected change. He brokered a deal with Mercedes to use its engines from the new 2026 generation of power units onwards, ending the use of Renault's factory. Then, after Alpine had already confirmed Jack Doohan, Flavio brought over Williams Jr., Franco Colapinto. And in the ultimate twist, following Oliver Oak's departure as team principal, Flavio took over Oakes' responsibility while continuing his role as special advisor, now taking over the role of Alpine team principal. At 75 years young, having been convicted of fraud twice, banned for life from the sport, the man who orchestrated F1's greatest scandal is back in charge of a Formula One team. And isn't he doing a great job?
It's currently bottom.
Yeah. One driver on the team
0
who's
points.
never scored a point, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, certified villain, I'd say.
There's no question he's a villain. There really isn't any question. And if you're listening to this and you think he's a hero, I mean, go get your head tested, because come on.
He's a villain with pizzazz.
I must admit, he does play the, straight-talking tough guy quite well.
And, nothing he's done actually hurt people.
It did. Felipe Massa is seeking legal advice and a settlement.
He forced a driver to crash. You can't, orchestrate a safe crash. It could have gone bad.
It also damaged the sport quite a lot and stopped, more opportunities for the sport because people saw it as just a stupid cheating scandal.
But he hasn't murdered anyone.
That
we
we
don't know
of.
that. You literally accused him of killing that Dutto guy. There was accusations in the air. And I caught a whiff, alright? Winning at all costs is actually an understatement for Flavio Briatore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
But he's also not winning.
Not now. He's probably winning bank account wise.
Oh god, yeah.
He's been convicted of fraud twice. He got a lifetime ban, got it overturned and got given money. Then had nightclub empires and restaurants and shit. And then came back as a special advisor and is now a team principal and special advisor. I bet he's getting 2 salaries.
Exactly what I mean. He's a villain with pizzazz. He probably also just doesn't give a fuck about his reputation being ruined. He just does his
You
own
can't
thing.
at this point, can you?
You have to just own it. You can't act like you're squeaky clean with your Flavio Briatore. He wakes up every day and chooses to be Flavio Briatore.
Yeah.
You just got to own that shit. You can't pretend it. Nav, I throw to you.
Okay, this one is a bit complicated.
Oh.
All right, Avril.
Oh, yes, I love that song. Because we're about to talk about one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time. 7 world championships.
Lewis Hamilton.
91 race wins. A legend who redefined what it meant to be fast, dominant, and utterly relentless. But here's the thing about legends. Sometimes they're forged in fire. Sometimes they're built on controversy. And sometimes they race long enough to become the villain. The villain. Reem, who am I talking about?
Michael Schumacher.
Well done, because you were whispering Lewis Hamilton through
the
all
whole
of that.
time.
Yeah, but then I remembered you had Michael Schumacher in the intro.
Okay.
So I want to make sense for it to be Lewis.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Michael Schumacher, the Dark Knight racer. Before we go any further, I do need to say this. Michael Schumacher is one of the greatest drivers in F1 history. No one disputes that. His talent, his work ethic, his impact on the sport, undeniable. And given what happened to him in 2013, discussing his controversies does feel a bit heavy. We're not here to diminish his legacy or disrespect him, but this episode is about the villains of F1, and in pursuit of his greatness, Schumacher made some choices that definitely crossed some lines.
Yeah, for those people that don't know, Michael Schumacher retired from Formula One at the end of 2012, and he was on a holiday with his family in 2013, and he went skiing, and he hit one of the exposed rocks underneath the uncleared section of the snow and lost control. He launched through the air, fell, and collided with another rock 10 metres away, which struck the right side of his head, and his helmet was cracked by the impact. He got transferred to a special trauma unit where the extent of his injuries quickly became apparent, and he was in a coma when he arrived at the hospital and required immediate surgery on his brain to stop swelling, and then was put into an artificial coma soon after that.
Yeah, and he remained in a medically induced coma for several months, and in September 24, he was moved from the hospital to his family's home in Switzerland, where he continues his rehabilitation. The Schumacher family have maintained a very strict veil of secrecy around his condition to protect his privacy, and his wife Corinna has been the driving force behind this and manages all of his care. For the most part, people aren't allowed to visit him. He's no longer able to communicate and is only able to communicate through his eyes. But Corinna said in a 2021 Netflix documentary, "We are trying to carry on as a family the way Michael liked it and still does," adding that her husband is different but here.
So we're including, Michael's legacy because he was a ruthless competitor and is undoubtedly one of the greats, but he also was such a fierce competitor that he had controversies, and so we're not going to shy away from talking about that, but we're in no way trying to disrespect him or his family.
So let's talk about those moments, because they are part of his story, and even heroes have their dark chapters. To begin with, the 1994 championship deciding crash. Adelaide, Australia, the final race of the season. Michael Schumacher leads Damon Hill by just one single point in the championship. Schumacher's leading the race, but on lap 36, he makes a mistake, hits the wall, and damages his Benetton. His car is limping along, and Hill sees the chance and dives up the inside into turn 6. And then Schumacher turns in. They collide, both cars are out, and Schumacher wins the championship by that one single point. Now, Schumacher always maintained that it was just a racing incident, but the media, especially in the UK, were not buying it.
I mean, that makes sense. Schumacher is obviously not British, and Damon Hill is.
Yeah.
And the British press is hella biased.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Legendary commentator Murray Walker said, "There will be people, of course, who say that was a desperate manoeuvre by Schumacher to stop Damon Hill winning the championship." Hill told Driver podcast what he said to Schumacher when he saw him at breakfast the next morning. He said, "Michael didn't let people close to him, especially competitors. I saw him the next day at breakfast and said, 'Well done.' He was a competitor and could demolish you with one sentence in the press. Nowadays, the drivers are very close. They do a lot of things together, which we didn't do when I was a driver. Hill later explicitly accused Schumacher of deliberately trying to drive into him. In 2003, the BBC even nominated it as one of the most unsporting moments in sports history. That's how controversial this moment was.
Damn.
At 25 years old, Schumacher became Germany's first F1 world champion. But the asterisk was there and would follow him for years. Next incident, the one that got him disqualified.
Oh.
Fast forward 3 years, 1997, Spain, championship decider again, and this time Schumacher is racing Jacques Villeneuve for the title. Schumacher's leading, Villeneuve catches him. On lap 48, Villeneuve makes a move down the inside into the dry sack corner. And Schumacher, what does he do, Reem?
Crashes.
He turns into him. Boom, Schumacher's Ferrari gets beached in the gravel. But here's the difference. Villeneuve is able to continue, and he finishes third. He wins the championship in 1997.
Damn.
Listen, I'm just saying it. If you're going to try and crash a competitor, you need to turn a lot. My man did not turn enough, clearly.
Take them out fully.
Yeah. You can reverse backwards and do it again, but make sure you get it.
Because, I mean, if you crash into them and they're at the race, at least you win.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you don't, you just look stupid.
Yeah. You know that he was in there, like, Mario Kart, like, I bet he wish I had a banana, like,
Now, the FIA, they were not having it this time. They found Schumacher guilty of deliberately causing a collision and disqualified him, not just for the race, for the entire 1997 World Championship.
Oh, damn.
The
I don't
entire
feel like they,
championship.
I don't feel like they do that
Oh,
nowadays.
God,
No,
no.
otherwise Max would have been banned a while ago.
Like the 2021, Max and Lewis on top of each other car-wise, and they're like, keep racing.
So his second place standing in the championship, erased, gone. That was how blatant they found that manoeuvre. Number 3, the day F1 booed a champion.
Ooh.
Must say it's happened quite a few times
It's
now.
happened quite a few times, you're right.
But this is the first notable one.
Fair.
Austria, 2002. Because this is where Schumacher's win at all cost mentality reached peak absurdity. Rubens Barrichello is
Isn't that an
leading...
amazing name?
It
Sorry
really
to
is.
interject. I love the name Rubens Barrichello.
Rubens Barrichello is leading the race. He qualified fastest. He's been faster all weekend. He's dominated and he deserves the win. But Ferrari wants Schumacher to win, who's already dominating in the championship. So with just meters to go before the finish line, team principal Jean Todt orders Barrichello to move over. They're teammates, by the way. Barrichello later said that it was 8 laps of war and that Ferrari made threats serious enough that he had to rethink his life. I quote...
Me at the most minor convenience ever.
I quote, "It's very rare that I lose my temper, but I was screaming on the radio. I kept going right to the end, saying I would not let him pass. That's when they said something much broader. It was not about the contract. I cannot tell you what they said, but it was a form of threat that made me think about rethinking my life, because the great joy for me was driving."
What the fuck?
I know.
I want a documentary on it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Barrichello reluctantly lifts off the throttle. Schumacher crossed the line first, and the crowd, they booed loudly and relentlessly.
I've seen this. I mean, I was
Yeah.
only a baby when this happened. But I've seen footage of it from the podium, and Schumacher is so humbled by the crowd that he ends up letting Barrichello stand on the top step.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and he's like, "Nah, you're the winner." But it's like, well, yeah, you're saying that because they're booing. But if no one booed, he would have just stood at the top step.
Absolutely. And the FIA fined Ferrari, Schumacher and Barrichello $1 million between them for the podium protocol breach.
Damn.
Ferrari.
No. And finally, we have Rascasgate. Try saying that. That's so fun.
Rascasgate. Ooh!
Rascasgate.
Isn't that fun?
I feel like if you said it with jazz hands at the same time, Rascasgate.
I like it.
And all that jazz. Sorry.
Monaco 2006 qualifying, final minutes of Q3.
What does Q3 stand for?
It's the final
countdown.
I'm sorry. I said, what does Q3 stand? Why have you said final? What is there a silent Q in final?
It's the final round of qualifying.
Well done.
It just stands for qualifying 3.
Or
all I heard
or final round of qualifying.
That would be FROQ. Frog.
Schumacher's on provisional pole. Let me speak. Schumacher's on provisional pole, but Fernando Alonso and others are on flying laps, about to go faster. So, what does Schumacher do?
He blocks the road.
Yep, he parks.
Not you being like, this will be funny.
He parks his Ferrari at the Rascasse corner. He doesn't crash. He doesn't spin. He parks.
Yeah.
He essentially forced a lock-up of his brake, slides towards the barrier, and conveniently stops his car in the middle of the corner, blocking the track.
Something's wrong with me, because you saying Flavio Briatore's story, I'm like, Loki icon. With you saying this, I'm like, why is he Loki an icon though?
Yellow flags fly, everyone behind him has to abort their laps, and he obviously keeps pole position. Except the stewards reviewed the telemetry and found that there was absolutely no reason for Schumacher to brake with such undue, excessive and unusual force at that part of the circuit. Translation for Ream: he faked it on purpose to secure pole position.
Ream's like, I knew it!
The steward sent him to the back of the grid, and the paddock was furious. And Schumacher, well, he refused to explain his actions. To this day, he has never properly addressed it. Even years later, when asked about it in interviews, he's dodged the question or blamed the media. No accountability, no apology. That's not just gamesmanship, it's cheating. Plain and simple.
Do you remember there was... after Barcelona this year, where Max intentionally bumped into George.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after the race, he was like, people were talking about it, and they were like, we just want to talk about that moment with you and George. And he was like, why have we got to talk about moments of a race? How was the race? How was the race, Max?
How are you today?
Yeah.
What do you have for breakfast?
What happened to hello? How are you? That is giving the exact same energy as Schumacher. On Michael Schumacher, just to show how ahead of his time he was, I'm reading a book called The Formula, which if anyone's listening and hasn't read that book, I would really recommend it because it's fantastic. It talks about his mindset around fitness and stuff like that, and I think it's very interesting. So I'm going to read a bit of an excerpt for it so you can get into the mind of Michael Schumacher and how he operated back in the day. Schumacher never seemed to get tired either. While other drivers staggered to the podium after a race, barely able to keep themselves upright, Schumi made a show of leaping about like Michael Jordan, explicitly to intimidate them with his physical prowess. And after that, he usually had just enough energy left for karaoke. No one in F1 history had ever taken fitness quite so seriously. Schumacher was the first to truly understand that being an F1 driver meant living as a professional athlete. He worked out 2 to 3 hours a day, every day, also that he could be sharper in the car, where the driver was permanently engaged in a physical struggle to keep it on the road. Working the pedals amounted to sitting at a leg press machine, and turning the steering wheel felt like manoeuvring a manhole cover, all while losing up to 4 pounds of water weight. Schumacher's legendary training regime included cardio, plenty of core work, and a specific focus on developing his neck to cope with the immense G-forces that come with driving an F1 car. Since his debut, as a skinny hothead, Schumacher had gone up 3 collar sizes. There was also an off-season where he spent it in the Parisian Gulf, training in warm weather, while all of his rivals went on vacation. All the time he boasted about hitting the gym with Sylvester Stallone. Wherever he could, Schumacher also played football for a local amateur team near his home in Switzerland. And any time he boarded his private Learjet, he made sure that his mountain bike went along too.
Can't relate.
I know, legit. Get me some fizzy drinks, maybe some snacks, and Netflix. Thank you. But I think it's interesting because now that is how all the drivers are doing it now. Yeah. But that wasn't how other drivers were doing it back in the day. Most of them probably smoked, for example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't believe it took until him to realise that they should work out as an athlete.
But I don't think it was seen as that. I don't think it was seen as being an athlete. It was
I think it was
kind of
I think it was kind of like that darts mentality. It's just a lads thing. It's not like a sport.
Exactly. So I think it kind of shows that every part of him to do with racing was driven by success, like a compulsive need to win and give himself any sort of competitive edge that he could.
Damn.
Are you ready for your next villain?
Yes.
In the beginning, there was only one throne in Formula One. One empire. One name that struck fear into the hearts of drivers, teams, and even the Pope himself.
Oh. Is that factual?
Yes. Why is that funny?
Because I don't believe you.
It is factual.
Okay.
And sitting on that throne, draped in black, lurking in the shadows of Maranello, was a man who didn't just race cars, he consumed souls.
Oh, I was going to guess a name, but never mind.
All right.
Wait, who was your guess?
Bernie Eccleston. But then he said raced cars, and I don't think he's raced.
He did own an F1 team.
Why would he be in Maranello?
I don't know.
Visiting, I guess. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Enzo Ferrari.
Oh!
The penny drops.
Industrial Saturn, the devourer of suns. Before Red Bull had Helmut Marko snapping drivers out of existence, before Flavio Briatore was dreaming up cheating scandals, before any of the modern villains even existed, there was Enzo. And Enzo, he made them all look like amateurs. Enzo Ferrari always had a clear purpose. He wanted to race. Ferrari remains the only team to have participated in every single season of the competition since it started. Other titans of industry with proud racing history would come and go. Mercedes, Ford, Honda, but the Scuderia, which means stable in Italian.
Oh! Definitely not the team state.
Nope. Has stood the test of time. But the reality of this company, which spends a large bulk of its time selling its own fucking history, is that most of the years in F1 it's spent aren't really worth remembering at all. That thought was eating away at Enzo Ferrari in the 1960s, as he watched the British drivers and teams stack up world titles in cars that were somehow faster and more advanced than his. Despite some early success with Alberto Ascari, who won back-to-back championships in 1952 and 53, and not being an engineer himself, Ferrari was so obsessed with his reputation for building engines that he refused to recognise that they were only one piece of the puzzle. Colin Chapman in Lotus understood that F1 was a sport of permanent evolution and was designing airplane-inspired chassis and exploring the outer limits of downforce. Enzo, meanwhile, still thought of moving the engine behind the driver was some sort of crime against nature. When it came to the early, often deadly days of Formula One, the Scuderia couldn't escape the long list of fatalities. The team's first in F1 was Belgian driver Charles de Tournecourt, who rolled his car in practice ahead of the Modena Grand Prix in 1953. And the tragedies kept coming at an alarming speed. Eugenio Castellotti, the man who was supposed to be the heir to Ascari, also died at Modena after being thrown nearly 100 yards from his car. That same year, a Spanish driver named Alfonso de Portego was killed in a crash at the Mil Miglia after Enzo had insisted he run the race. The wreck killed one other driver and around 10 spectators, including children.
Oh, shit.
By then, death was the main feature of Enzo's life, and in 1956 his son Dino passed away at the age of 24 after a long illness. It left Enzo changed forever. He visited the grave daily and turned his dark office in the back of the factory into a shrine for his son. During the 1958 season, where the British Peter Collins and Italy's own Luigi Musso were both killed at Grand Prix in Ferrari 246 months apart, those tragic seasons left Ferrari in the crosshairs of two of Italy's most important and powerful constituencies, the sporting press and the Catholic Church. Enzo may have created a shining symbol of Italy with Ferrari, but none of that was seen as worthwhile if he kept killing Italian boys. By this point, the Vatican viewed motor racing as downright immoral. The Holy See's own daily newspaper, iconic, compared Enzo to a Roman god with a taste for flesh. They called him an industrial Saturn who continues to devour his own sons.
Oh.
Not dramatic at all.
I know.
By the time the swinging 60s arrived, Ferrari, who refused to advertise their cars, hit the big screen in a Hollywood movie called Grand Prix. It was shot with Ferrari's cooperation across 1955 and 56, and it served as a propaganda film. Enzo didn't even have a problem with one of its main characters, a Frenchman, being killed in one of his cars at Monza. His only condition was that no Ferrari could be shown losing to a rival car. He was seeing enough of that in real life. By the 70s, the Italian car was barely Italian at all. The engine continued to be pure Maranello, but the chassis used composite materials made in England, the tyres were American, and the famous engines were being fed by German fuel injections. Enzo couldn't even bring himself to attract a fully Italian driver. He schmoozed Mario Andretti in 1971, promising him that everything you see here will be working for you. But Mario said, I was Italian, but I had an American passport. So if I got killed, he wasn't going to have the Italian government telling me that he was killing Italian talents. Always a loophole.
Yeah. Another cheat code.
Fucking horrible loophole, but here we are. But no one in the cult of Ferrari was willing to speak up against Enzo. He demanded loyalty, which really meant full devotion. If anyone was going to spark an Italian renaissance, it would have been an outsider who wasn't under the Ferrari spell. The one who managed it happened to be a rather moody and outspoken Austrian named...
Niki Lauda.
Well done!
Thank you.
Niki Lauda's blunt and no-nonsense approach was in full force when he hopped out of his car after his first Ferrari test in 1971. Niki told Enzo's son, Piero...
Your car is shit.
Yes!
Well done. Oh my gosh.
Do you know a fun thing? Piero is actually his illegitimate son, and he kept him hidden for a very long time.
Oh.
But slowly, he got him involved in the company until he was important enough for him to be like, come here, son. You're not crazy.
That's so cruel.
Literally. So he's the guy translating between Enzo Ferrari and Niki Lauda. But it was like, by that point in the company, he was like...
You're successful enough that you can be my son publicly.
Literally. It's like, surprise, Shawty.
That's outrageous.
Niki told Enzo's son Piero that the car was a disaster and that the car understeers and doesn't even corner worth a damn. It's undrivable. Which Piero knew he could not tell his father. He shook his head.
He's like whispering to Niki, he's only just acknowledging that I'm his son. I can't see this.
I need this win, Tom.
I need this inheritance, Tom.
Niki said, all right then, tell him that the car isn't quite set up properly. And Piero decided that he could work with that.
And he said the car is amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, Dad.
You're doing great, sweetie.
He's doing like the Italian has. He's like, mwah, mwah. And Nicky's like, no, you're bullshitting, Piero. Enzo surprised his son and turned to his top engineer and asked how long it would take to tweak the car to Nicky's liking. The engineer told him a week. Enzo turned back to Niki and told him, if you're not 1 full second faster this time next week, you're out. And Niki knew that he meant it. In his autobiography, Niki said that Enzo would scratch himself in the most likely places and hock and spit for minutes on end with obvious relish into a gigantic handkerchief which unfolded was the size of a flag.
Ew.
I have literally no idea why Niki Lauda decided to add that to his book.
I have no idea where you've added it to this script.
I think it was a villainous act. to enjoy hocking and touring and spitting into a massive hanky with relish is weird.
It's like a cartoon villain character.
Literally. He must have been like, ha ha ha. I think it just paints a full picture.
Okay.
And soon, Ferrari made its way back to where it belonged. In 1975, Niki Lauda won Ferrari's first driver title in 11 years. When the team boss called Enzo to tell him that they were champions, he heard something for the first and only time on the other end of the phone. Enzo Ferrari was...
proud of him.
Sobbing.
Oh.
You watched too many films.
Proud of him.
On the other end of the phone, you turn and go, oh. By 1976, Niki Lauda lined up reluctantly at the Nürburgring, and on lap 2, he hit a kink on the road surface coming out of a left-hand turn, lost control of his Ferrari at around 125 miles per hour, and the car exploded and the Ferrari melted around him. After his crash, a German newspaper had the headline that said, "My God, where is his face?" and speculated that Niki Lauda wouldn't be seen in public for 6 months. When he re-emerged, it had been 6 weeks. 44 days after his accident, Niki was in front of the Tifosi at Ferrari's home race in Monza as he peered through surgically reconstructed eyelids. But in the final race of the season in Japan, there was a massive downpour. Niki drove a few laps before pulling into the pits and stopping his car altogether. Enzo didn't take this decision well. He felt that a perfectly fast and functional Ferrari should never be parked, and Enzo and Niki's relationship never recovered. Niki raced for Ferrari in 1977 and won the World Championship entirely out of spite. I'm sorry, but Niki Lauda is quite clearly the hero here.
Yeah.
He hated Enzo and won the championship with 2 races to spare. He then sent a telegram from Toronto to Enzo telling him that he wouldn't be racing for the rest of the season. Enzo was furious. The disrespect of Niki was staggering, but he felt drivers were just as replaceable as tyres, and he did just that. By 1988, however, the whispers around Maranello was that the Enzo era was ending. It was a sign of how badly his health had deteriorated that when the Pope himself, John Paul II, made a pilgrimage to visit Enzo, he was too unwell to greet him. Imagine someone saying, Reem, the Pope's at the door, and you're like, I got COVID, I can't.
I mean, they've had drama.
What? You and the Pope?
No, as in Ferrari and the Pope.
Yeah, but they're on good terms at the end. Let me finish the story. It was clear that Enzo was no longer seen as an amoral killer of Italian boys in the eyes of the Vatican. He had lived long enough to become the man who built cars worthy of a blessing from the Pope.
Damn.
Yeah.
A powerful ending. Too bad you didn't greet him.
They give him the blessing, he's leaving. He's like, what a motherfucker, I didn't greet me at the door. I came all the way from Vatican, fuck.
But imagine that being like Ferrari's reputation back in the day. Like, everyone heralds this team as like, oh, it's pure Italian passion. Everyone in Italy loves Ferrari. But there was a period of time where everyone was just like, oh my God, Ferrari is killing Italian boys.
Yeah, the fact that the Vatican's involved as well is crazy.
Yeah.
And now they're killing Italians' bank accounts because they're all paying for therapy to cope with
Killing their
Ferrari.
hopes and spirits, yeah.
That would have been the more appropriate answer. What are you saying?
I said killing their bank accounts.
From the therapy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've discussed this before.
We did the math.
I think it's interesting because the team does talk about their history is like their biggest selling point. It's like the legacy. And also, one of the people that was inspired by Enzo Ferrari was Bernie Ecclestone, who obviously ended up being the person that took that sport from a small little, circuit to just massive global sport that we see today, which is still growing. And he basically said, Formula One is Ferrari and Ferrari is Formula One. It's that simple.
There's no denial that they have such a legacy. But Ferrari is definitely all looks and no substance.
Yeah, all fur coat, no knickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But isn't it interesting? Because that history is never spoken about.
Yeah.
But that is part of their history. Mm-hmm. And a lot of their years is not worth mentioning.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Niki Lauda's such an icon.
Such an icon. You
really
know,
is.
when he had all of his trophies from his world championships and he gave them to a local car wash in exchange for free car washes because he was like, I have no use for these trophies, so I'll make use of them.
I love that.
Imagine a car wash that has all of Niki Lauda's trophies and all they have to do is wash his car once a month. What the fuck?
Nev and I watched the movie and I loved it. I loved Niki Lauda in the movie.
Rush.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, such a good movie. Because that was right before we started the podcast, and it was like trying to slowly get me
Pique
into
your
like,
interest.
F1. Yeah, slowly start to get into it.
Don't you mean Nell say PK your interest?
Yeah.
Yes, that actually made me really interested in then watching F1 because I'm like, he's such an iconic character.
Yeah.
And the whole storyline was so interesting and he just gave no fucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. And I'm like, I actually can't wait to learn about it now. So thank you, Niki Lauda.
Okay. Well, thank you us for helping you get involved in Formula One.
Well, first him and then both of you.
Okay, fine.
I'm the one that suggested we watch the film.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you to both of you and
Thank you.
Niki Lauda, but thank you to Niki Lauda less than the both of you.
So you've completely flipped the script. First it was thank you to him, and now it's thank you to him less than us.
Now you're disrespecting him.
Yeah.
That's rude. He's an icon.
Crazy.
I can't win.
Ferrari.
Are you ready for our next villain?
Hell yeah.
Before the modern era of F1 politics and power plays, there was the original villain.
Ew.
The man who ruled Formula One like it was his own personal empire.
Michael Massey.
The man who believed he was the law.
Bernie Ecclestone.
No! I want to say it! I have my hands up and
Okay,
everything.
do you want to... Go on, you do it.
Reem.
You've already said it.
Reem, who do you think I'm talking about?
Bernie Ecclestone.
That's a good guess, you know.
I was going to guess it.
I'm saying it's a good guess. I'm very proud of you.
A French autocrat who wielded absolute power.
The frown from Reem.
What's wrong?
The fuck?
A man who could change the outcome of world championships with the
Bernie
stroke of a pen. A man who made enemies of legends and declared war on the very teams that made the sport. Ladies and gentlemen,
Beret Ecclestone.
Jean-Marie Balestri, the supreme leader of Formula One.
You've heard
Never
of King
heard
John?
of his name before.
Now, I will say Bernie Ecclestone does come up.
Ooh, I'll finally get a correct guess.
Come on, collab.
You don't get a correct guess because it's not his villain arc that we're talking about. We're talking about Jean-Marie's.
Yeah, he said he comes up.
Yeah, he's a footnote in
Oh,
the
so
story.
is he not coming up later in the episode?
No.
Oh.
He had a whole ebb.
We've given him so much airtime.
The last time I mentioned Bernie Ecclestone, the quote I had for him ended with racism.
Oh, yeah.
He's racist, let's move on.
Now, Jean-Marie Balestre wasn't just FIA president. He was the FISA president, the Fédération Internationale du Sport Automobile, the sporting arm of the FIA that he basically created for himself in 1978 and 1979 specifically to control motorsport. And control it he did. From 1978 to 1991, Balestre ruled F1 with an iron fist. He was imperious, he was egotistical, and he absolutely believed that F1 existed to serve his vision.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be a trope.
Yes. This is a man who didn't just make decisions, he made decrees. And if you didn't like them, too bad. He had the power and he wasn't afraid to use it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, to have the confidence of an average man.
You might remember a little bit about this, however, I highly doubt it.
I was going to say, I beg to fucking differ.
The FISA-FOCA War. Do you remember that?
Any context?
No? Okay, you don't. When Bernie met his match. So let's talk about the early 1980s, the FISA-FOCA War. This was Balestre versus Bernie and the Formula One Constructors Association in an all-out battle for control of F1. On one side, you had Bernie and the independent British teams, Brabham, Williams, Lotus, who wanted to control the commercial side of F1 and have their say in technical regulations. And on the other side, Balestre and the manufacturer-backed teams like Ferrari, Renault and Alfa Romeo. Balestre wanted total control over the technical and financial aspects of the sport. Balestre allegedly showed bias towards factory teams. The FOCA teams felt that they couldn't compete fairly because FISA was stacking the deck against them. Races were boycotted, teams pulled out, and the 1980 Spanish Grand Prix descended into chaos.
Apparently, it was actually a bit of a nightmare for promoters because they couldn't guarantee that all of the teams would actually turn up to races, which would affect the amount of ticket sales they could get because people wouldn't pay for them if they weren't going to have all the cars lining up to the grid.
FISA wanted to ban ground effects because of the dangerously high cornering speeds they allowed and the fact that if one of the skirts broke, it could send a car off the track at massive speed with no warning for the driver. FOCA teams, mostly using Cosworth engines, relied heavily on ground effect technology and resisted the ban. And then in the Spanish Grand Prix in 1980, Balestre ordered the suspension of 15 drivers' super licenses until fines of approximately $2,000 were paid by each driver.
Oh.
He also announced that the race wouldn't count for the championship and no points would be awarded.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Iron fist indeed.
Ferrari, Renault and Alfa Romeo teams wouldn't take to the track, afraid of retribution against their cars running in other FIA events. All 22 cars did start, however, using Ford engines. However, only 6 finished, and Alan Jones won the race. And when he did, he said, "My job is to drive racing cars, not to get involved in politics. I won the race, and now I have to wait and see if I'll be given the points."
That is so stupid.
This was Balestre at his most authoritarian, holding the entire sport hostage over unpaid fines and technical regulations, ultimately fracturing the grid. Eventually, the Concord Agreement was signed in 1981 and finalised in 1987. But make no mistake, Balestre didn't surrender. He just strategically retreated. For now.
Oh.
Mysterious.
The disqualification that shook F1.
Ew.
Now we get to the moment that defines Balestre's legacy as a true villain. October 22nd, 1989, Suzuka, Japan. The penultimate race of the season. Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna, McLaren teammates, championship rivals, and on lap 47, they collided at the chicane. Prost got out of his car, however Senna continued, cut through the chicane, escape road and got a push start, rejoined the race and won.
You can't do push starts nowadays in F1.
No.
If you need outside assistance from the car, you're not allowed to continue.
But back in the day it was allowed.
Yeah.
However, the stewards disqualified Senna for missing the chicane and gaining an advantage. The win went to Alessandro Nannini, and the World Championship went to Alain Prost.
I bet I know what Alessandro said when that happened.
What?
Nee.
Nice, okay. Now here's where it gets very controversial. Senna and many in the F1 community accused Balestri, who, as a side note, was French, like Alain Prost, of manipulating the decision to favour his fellow countrymen. Senna said it himself, the media said it, and even McLaren boss Ron Dennis appealed the decision. But FISA upheld the disqualification. Balestri had spoken.
Yikes. That's not a good look.
As CNN explained, the thing that really wound Senna up was the fact that he perceived that Balestri, who was French like Prost, had acted almost like a Prost guardian to make it happen. He was livid. But wait!
Oh my god!
It gets worse.
No!
Not only was Senna disqualified and fined $100,000, he was also given a 6-month suspension ban for dangerous driving.
Damn.
6 months?
Yup.
We'd never see Max Verstappen again.
He'd get bored. He'd move to a different category. And when it came time to issue Senna's super license for 1990, Balestri held it hostage. He refused to grant it unless Senna publicly apologised.
No, that's weird.
That's
kink
degrading.
behaviour.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Senna was furious. He threatened to retire. The sport held its breath, and in the end, Senna released a placatory statement and Balestri reissued his licence. But the damage was done. Senna felt wronged, humiliated, and robbed of a championship by political manoeuvring. So, what did Senna do? 1 year later, at the same track, he deliberately crashed into Prost at the first corner, taking them both out and securing the 1990 World Championship for himself. And, because he's a king, he admitted it was deliberate. He said, and I quote, "It was payback for 1989. That's how much damage Balestri had caused. He had pushed one of the greatest drivers of his generation to retaliate on track because he felt that the championship had been stolen from him off track. A dangerous precedent was set at Suzuka in 1989, and it was set by Balestri. By the early 1990s, his power was crumbling. The FISA-FOCA war had weakened him. The Senna controversies had tarnished his reputation, and in 1991, he lost the FIA presidency to Max Mosley.
Oh, God. Some more drama to come.
He remained president of French motorsport until 1996, but his reign over Formula One was over. The supreme leader had been dethroned.
Damn.
What a wild story.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
But I mean,
Senna's a king.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Reem!
Hey!
Are you ready for the final villain?
Yes.
In the beginning, there were infinity stones of Formula One. Power, speed, glory. And presiding over all of them, one man who would stop at nothing to collect them.
Bernie Eccleston.
One man who believed the end justified the means. One man who thinks half the grid doesn't deserve to exist. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Helmut Marko, the mad doctor of the Red Bull Empire. We already told you he's not in this episode.
Give me a look to say it. No, maybe.
Do you know what's abundantly clear? If we ask you who's someone in F1 that isn't a driver or a team principal, the only answer you have is Bernie Eccleston.
Flavio Briatore. Enzo Ferrari. Recency bias.
Before we dive into his reign of terror, let's set the scene. Helmut Marko isn't just Red Bull's motorsport advisor. He's the architect of their driver program, the gatekeeper, the executioner. He decides who gets the seat and who gets the snap.
Didn't know he was a villain.
Why would you talk so soon after that dramatic moment?
I know.
It was Marvel-esque. That was our own personal Infinity War.
Marko's controversial comments and ruthless decisions have left a trail of broken careers and bruised egos across the paddock. Now let's talk about the stones in Marko's Infinity Gauntlet. And by stones, we mean controversies. because there are so very many.
Oh.
Up first, the reality stone. Sergio Perez and, let's call a spade, racism.
The racism stone.
September 2023. A day after the Italian Grand Prix, where Perez finished second. Since the Miami Grand Prix, early in the season, Perez had struggled in qualifying and finished on the podium in only 4 of the subsequent 9 races. During his appearance on Red Bull's own TV network, Service TV, Marco started by applauding Perez's performance at Monza before he decided to explain why Perez wasn't performing as well as Max Verstappen.
That's fair enough.
His reasoning? Geography and ethnicity.
Never mind.
Oh.
Yeah. He said, "We know that he has problems in qualifying. He has fluctuations in form. He is South American and he is just not as completely focused in his head as Max is or as Sebastian. Except Perez is Mexican and Mexico is in North America. So not only was the comment offensive and stereotypical, it was also geographically incorrect." The backlash was immediate. The FIA gave him an official warning. Red Bull went silent, however. But the damage, it was already done. The Mad Doctor had shown his true colours. An Austrian news outlet reported a few days later that Marco had tried to clarify his remarks, saying, "It wasn't meant that way. I meant that a Mexican has a completely different mentality than a German or a Dutchman."
I mean, it's insulting to all 3 people that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's all racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
That you're just talking about.
That same day, Service TV released a statement from Marco saying, "I would like to apologise for my offensive remark and want to make it absolutely clear that I do not believe that we can generalise about people from any country, any race, any ethnicity. I was trying to make a point that Checo has fluctuated in his performance this year, but it was wrong to attribute this to his cultural heritage." That sounds PR written, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The Mexican Grand Prix issued a statement of support for Perez, saying, "At the #MexicoGP, we express our support for Mexican driver Sergio Checo Perez. Inappropriate comments have no place in any field, including sport. It is important that measures are taken to prevent it and that apologies are made when necessary. We invite everyone to build a more respectful and united Formula One community by fostering healthy competition both on and off the track." So that's his first stone.
Damn. Already starting off strong.
The second stone, the Power Stone.
Oh.
Nick de Vries, my biggest mistake. So let's talk about Nick de Vries, Formula E champion, F2 champion. He scored points on his F1 debut for Williams in 2022, and everyone thought, this guy deserves a shot.
Everyone thought he was hot shit.
I
He was
did.
hot property.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that when we first
I
saw
was
Nick
so
de Vries.
impressed when I saw him, especially because Williams at the time were not a midfield car, they were a bottom car.
Yeah,
Oh.
legit.
So, Helmut Marko, he gave him that shot with AlphaTauri in 2023. But after just 10 races, De Vries was out, and he was replaced by Daniel Ricciardo.
Honey Badger.
Yes, but here is where it gets brutal. In January 2025, years later, for whatever reason, Marko decided to publicly call signing De Vries his biggest mistake as Red Bull's driver program boss.
The racist comments could have been a mistake, but never mind.
Imagine being De Vries. You're trying to move on with your career, and the man who fired you after half a season publicly labels you as his biggest regret on international media. That's not just ruthless, it's cold. De Vries responded with class, saying that he holds no grudge. But you have to wonder, was the public humiliation necessary? Or was it just the Mad Doctor reminding everyone that he is in control?
I think he talks because he thinks people want to hear it.
I think there's a lot of people like that.
People put too many microphones in front of his mouth.
Yeah.
And he just sort of sees, he's like Michael Scott. He kind of is like, I wonder what I'm going to say right now.
Yeah.
And then he sort of says stuff and it's like, oh.
Stone number 3, you ready?
Yeah.
The Mind Stone.
Oh.
Gabrielle B, as in the B driver. March 2025, in an appearance yet again on Service TV, the only channel that would dare to have the Mad Doctor on as a guest, Marco shared his thoughts regarding this year's rookies, putting Bortoleto in a B category despite the Brazilian's back-to-back championship success in Formula 3 and Formula 2. Bortoleto, however, he also responded with class, saying that everyone can have opinions. We live in a free world. I think he has his opinions about me. I think I proved myself to be an F1. I won F3 and F2 as a rookie. I'm going to prove him wrong with time. It's just a matter of time. Nothing I say to the media right now will change his mind because he's just talking and talking.
I'm with you, Gabby. Don't you worry, babe.
The only thing I can do is get my head to the track and prove that his argument was wrong. Hopefully with time he will admit, okay, my opinion wasn't right, and he will regret what he said. But I've done this in the past as well. I've said things probably that I regret and I don't agree nowadays. It's normal. I'm not going to make a big thing about it.
We love you, Gabby.
Gabby the Great.
I know. How could anyone say anything mean about him?
Legit.
And now, the fourth stone.
Ooh.
The Soul Stone.
Ooh.
Isaac Hadger's embarrassing tears.
Tears. Oh, I know about this.
As if going after Gabby the Great wasn't bad enough, Helmut Marko then set his sights on Hadji the Cute. March 2025 Australian Grand Prix. It's wet, it's chaotic, and young Racing Bulls rookie Isaac Hadger is emotional after a difficult race. He's crying. In an interview with ORF, Marko said, Isaac Hadger did a little bit of crying after his crash. That was a bit embarrassing. Because apparently showing emotion as a young driver in one of the most high-pressure sports in the world is embarrassing. Forget mental health, forget the human side of racing, just toughen up, kid. Anthony Hamilton took a very different view of the moment than Marko did, saying, when I saw it happen, my heart just sank for him. Not just for him, for his parents, for everything they've done to work hard to get to this one point, and it's like it's snatched from you. I just felt terrible for him, so I thought, you know what, I need to go and tell this kid, keep your head high, walk tall, you're going to come back. I think he's a phenomenal driver. I think there's more to come from Isaac than we probably have seen this weekend. Even Christian Horner took a sympathetic view, saying it was quite heart-wrenching to see him so gutted at his first Grand Prix. He performed very well through the practice and the qualifying. You forget that these guys are just kids, really. Obviously, a lot of emotion for him today, but I think when he strips it back, there's an awful lot of positives he can take out of the weekend. He's got many bright days ahead of him.
He did have many.
He did!
Two lovely responses from Anthony Hamilton and Christian Horner. And
not from Helmut Marko.
No, but if even Christian Horner can see the soul in it, I mean, Jesus. I mean, you're far gone. But Helmut Marko is far gone, it must be said.
Yes.
Hit us with the final stone, Nav.
Finally, we have the time stone. The Corona camp.
Oh.
Because who needs science? Let's rewind to March 2020.
Oh, let's not. Bloody hell. Awful fucking time that was.
The world is in lockdown. COVID-19 is spreading. People are literally dying. And Helmut Marko has an idea.
I tell you, I heard someone had a great idea back in 2020, and it was to inject disinfectant into people.
Oh, yes.
It was Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So my point is a lot of people had ideas. Not everyone needed to say them though, did they?
But Marko did. He proposed that creating a Corona camp where all of the Red Bull Formula 1 drivers and juniors would intentionally be infected with COVID-19. His plan was to gather Max Verstappen, Alex Albon and about 8 to 10 junior drivers in one place, get them all sick with a potentially deadly virus and let them overcome the symptoms together.
As a team. That's nice.
Little team day out.
Yeah. Team bonding.
Yeah.
His reasoning, and I quote, "They are all strong young men in good health." Because apparently being fit means you're immune to a global pandemic that had already killed thousands. The backlash was immediate and international. Biochemists were even out accusing Marko of being reckless. The F1 community was horrified, and even Christian Horner had to come out and defend him, saying that the comments were made before the severity had become apparent.
Does that just mean before the severity of how stupid things he said was, he realised? What does that mean?
Severity of the backlash.
That's what I mean. Like, what does that mean?
But here's the kicker. Years later, in December 2022, Marko was asked about it again. Did he regret it? Was he joking? Nope. He said, and again I quote, "I was dead serious." Dead serious about deliberately infecting athletes with COVID. That's not just controversial, that's genuinely dangerous thinking from someone in a position of power. The mad scientist wanted to use the time stone to fast forward through the pandemic, but instead he just fast forwarded his reputation straight into the barriers.
I mean, what would he have done if, like, 6 of them dropped dead?
Panicked.
He would have definitely said it was never his idea and he thought it was awful.
Yeah.
Even though it's literally on the record.
Yeah, but he would say, like, I didn't understand the severity of the situation.
Oh,
Didn't
God.
realise this was going to happen. So whoever let me do this is stupid. There you go. That would
But
be
also-
how you sidestep it.
Just because he wants to fast forward through the pandemic doesn't mean the rest of the world does.
Yeah.
So even if he did, like...
Who wants to be in a social bubble with all the people you work with?
Yeah, people
Like,
want
love
to
peace and respect to my colleagues, but fuck that! People be at home!
People wanted to be at home baking banana bread and making that coffee trend thingy. And
Yeah,
and
whipped
that's what
coffee.
people did. Yes, whipped coffee.
Yeah, having a go at, Joe Wicks's PT sessions.
Yeah.
Watching
Didn't do
Tiger
that.
King.
Yeah.
Killed her husband. He's snacking. That's what I was doing back in the day.
So here we are, Helmut Marko, the man with the infinity gauntlet of controversy. He's made offensive comments about ethnicity, publicly humiliated drivers, dismissed emotions, and wielded his power with zero mercy. But here's the thing, he's also built one of the most successful driver academies in F1 history. Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, we might not have had them as world champions without the Mad Doctor. Does success justify the means? Does winning championships excuse the controversial comments, the ruthless firings, and the public humiliations?
No. Hot take.
Well, that's for you to decide.
Oh.
But one thing's for sure, in the world of Formula One villains, Helmut Marko isn't just the villain, he's the Mad Doctor, and he is inevitable.
Whoa.
Damn.
He surgically removed any decent comments from his vocabulary and just says waffle, 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 waffle.
So, those are all of the villains that we're presenting to
Damn.
you today. Who do you think's the worst?
Ooh.
The fact that it took you more than 3 seconds to come up with your answer is crazy to me.
Why?
It's obviously Flavio Briatore.
No.
Oh, really? I think it's Helmut Marko.
No. He was convicted of fraud.
Oh, yeah, fair.
He got a lifetime ban.
I
He's now
suspect
back in the
he's
sport.
guilty of murderous.
Literally.
Enzo Ferrari killed people.
Not with his bare hands.
Yeah, but he put them in situations that killed them.
But, I mean, we can say that about all of the F1 teams then. They've all had deaths associated with them.
Yeah, but he had a lot.
True.
So it was Flavio Briatore, Michael Schumacher, Enzo Ferrari, Helmut Marko. Have I deleted one?
Yeah. Have you deleted one? Jean-Marie Balestri.
That one. Jean-Marie Balestri.
Yep. Well done.
Yes. Oh. Flavio Briatore, yes, but at the same time it's like...
You think
It's
he's an
fro-
icon, we get it.
Yeah. And it's also like fraud and cheating. I don't know. Helmut Marko, it's like racism.
You're just echoing back what we've told you.
I know, it's hard. It's hard.
My vote personally is for Flavio Briatore.
She just discounts all of the things we've said and she's like, Bernie Eccles!
Legit.
I'm gonna say Enzo Ferrari.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Nav?
I think it's Helmut Marko.
The Grand Prix podium.
Who is the biggest
Quicker. Quickest.
There we have it, our beautiful Grand Prixsters. Those are the villains of F1. Now, there are probably many more, but those are some of the ones that we've picked out. And don't worry, because I'm sure you're absolutely gagging for the heroes of F1. That will be coming up next time we have a break from racing and have a chance to do another deep dive with your girlies over here in the corner of the Grand Prix internet. If you did enjoy this episode, or indeed any of the episodes, if there's a single second of enjoyment you've got out of the whole of this episode, please do leave a review. Please also follow us over on social media because we're always putting out fun stuff. We are on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok.
That's it.
And that's it. Thank you so much. Keep safe. Try and be a hero, not a villain. Yes?
Hey, is the week coming up a special week by any chance?
It's COTA. And it's a sprint weekend!
Woohoo! That's not what I meant.
Oh,
That'll be the next race in case anyone was curious.
yeah.
No,
What
I
do you
mean,
want?
this specific week that's coming up, is it a special week?
This coming week, it is going to be the Independent Podcast Awards, for which, who is shortlisted? We is shortlisted. So please send us all of your good vibes, manifestations and positivity. And if you send us any bad energy, I'm sending it right back. Because we want to win. And if you never hear us talk about this again, just assume we didn't win. But wouldn't it just be amazing and hilarious that we won an award when we're so new to this and, we're giving it our best. So we are very excited to go off and see if we've won an award or not. It would be quite fun because all we talk about is people winning stuff and we haven't won anything. Right, so wish us luck and we will see you next time. See ya!
Bye!